Hello everyone, Snipe Trading here. Today is March 17th, and I'll be going over my recap for today. So as you can tell from the title, it's a red day, and I haven't had a red day since the last 29 trading days, so I'm kind of excited. It's going to be a learning day for me. You know, uh, can always be perfect, but as long as you learn from your mistakes, you always move forward. And it takes, red days to kind of realize on those mistakes and make it as a lesson. So before I get started, feel free to hit the subscribe button and follow me on my other platforms. I also stream on Twitch. Usually hang out a little bit on the after hours or creating my watch list and can answer any questions there. But yeah, before I get started, I want to show you my two strategies that I go over, and that is the long setup pennant and the short setup, which is the inverted cup and handle. So these are the two strategies I trade and pretty much hunt for day in and out. All right, so let's get started on the recap. So we can start from the top. So my winner of today was XNET. So XNET was a short play. So it was extended on the 5-minute chart. Let me change the color and get my pen tool working. All right, so XNET had a 5-minute extension, and the 15 minutes down here, and I was looking for a trendline break of this sideways inverted cup and handle. I had an attempt to break these highs here, but failed, so I went ahead and looked for a inverted cup and handle here, which is like a small one there. Went ahead and took short and then covered the rest here. There was a potential re-add on this pop towards the 5-minute EMA, 5-minute 9 EMA, and then finally fully tested the 15-minute here around this area and got a bounce there. So that was a $171 win there on XNET. Next trade is SRAX. SRAX was also a short, also a 5-minute short. You can see the 5-minute short, very low volume ticker, but the pattern was there, so I went in with some shares here, looking for the inverted cup and handle here. You can see it kind of did that for the break of, I think it was like 485 or so. So it broke that, went ahead and short, and then pretty much trail it all the way to the 15-minute 9 EMA, and then towards vwop. And that's where I covered the rest for a $93 win there. Next trade is YVR. So YVR was an $80 winner. So here was more of an after-hour trade, and the reasoning was kind of picking the bottom. So in after hours, usually one of the patterns I tend to play is this bottom picking trend, where you can see bottoms out towards either VWAP or the hourly chart, or towards a trend where it'll vertically bounce off, and you can see it was starting to create higher lows here and then breaking above this trend line. So I went ahead and took a long there for a quick scalp towards the 15-minute 5-minute chart, and pretty much just took it off there, and it faded. So this is a quick little scalp winner there. And the next trade was LPCN. So LPCN attempted this flag break here. I went a little bit less size here and I wasn't confident, so I kind of took it off pretty much immediately there. I actually took some profits and then stop out the rest, pretty much break even. The reasoning was because the hourly was extended. It was down here, so it wasn't like a A+ setup, even though the pattern was there. So it wasn't the best setup, but it eventually broke, took a dip, and then retested the 15 minute 90 EMA, and then had a little push higher before fading back down. So um, that was the trade on lpcn for $21 win. The next trade is GNUS. So GNUS had a decent looking flag. Excuse me. So it had a decent looking flag here. Tested all the trend charts here. I went ahead and took some longs there, and it didn't particularly go, immediately. So I went ahead and so I actually had 6,000 shares. I had built 1,000 here, hoping for a longer push. When it broke below these low, or actually these lows, where I stopped out and actually kind of bounced off the 30-minute trend here and went higher. So it's unfortunate, but took a tiny bit of profit there and ended up stopping out break even. So that was a $16 winner there on GNUS. Next trade is SGLB. So SGLB, this was a short, but knowing the trend. So this had a decent, sorry for the background noise, but this had a nice trend. And then it had this extension to the 50-minute. So I went ahead and took short there for the 50-minute test. So it broke there. I took some profits. I think it was half. I should have took more because that was the 50-minute target. And then it ended up reclaiming this support as, or reclaiming this broken support as support again, and flag for the break. So that's where I covered. So it's important to cover because it's also a long setup, but I wasn't, particularly liking a long setup here because it was extended on the hourly. But this worked for a few people because it went higher. But yeah, it's important to stop out there and don't be stubborn because your loss can increase there. So that was pretty much break-even trade on SGLB. Next trade was AMC. AMC was an after-hour trade. I was looking for this squeeze here towards the end of the day before the market closed just like an hour ago. So I saw this kind of breaking this level and took a position there and kind of scalped it out, pretty much break even there. And then there was a spot here where it was tested the 50-minute trend and got some long there around 14, expecting this move, but it ended up just like consolidating here pretty slowly. I was hoping for this move for that end of day squeeze before the market closed. It happened, but I was pretty much out for break even, so it was pretty much like a $10 win there. Let's see. The next trade is ONTX, which was also a flat trade. And I think I took this because it had a breakout here. Decent looking chart, no follow through. The volume didn't continue there. Just a few high bar volumes, but no continuation. So it broke, took some profit, and then just stopped out the rest when it broke the cup and handle inverted here. So it's good to know both sides of the trade, because it is, if you know how to trade both long and short, you're able to determine those levels where it's good to exit. So that was ONTX, pretty much a flat trade. Next trade was a loss, bigger loss on TLRY. TLRY was just looking for a fade towards the hourly. So you can see it was starting to get weak here, basing around this area. I was looking for a a break of this trend line. It didn't exactly break, so I went ahead and covered the rest there when it was just consolidating here, and it actually went higher after hours. But I was hoping for a kind of correction towards the hourly chart, which is around 27 area, but didn't give me that. So that was a loss of 130 on TLRY. Next trade was LC. So LC was actually a missize. So I actually went in way too big. I didn't change my position sizing from the earlier trade, which I was trading like TNXP. So I had like 2,500 shares. Pretty much took 2,500 shares and filled me at filled 2,100 shares of those 2,500, and then pretty much I was actually looking for this inverted cup and handle. It didn't break, but I sized in way too much, and this kind of squeezed me pretty quickly for a $220 loss there. So it's unfortunate I misclicked. I think the correct sizing would have been $50 here, or 500 shares, and that would have been a much smaller loss, like a $75, $80 loss. So that was LC, and then going on to my biggest loser today was TNXP. So TNXP had a really nice pattern. I think it just didn't have the volume to break out. So it's unfortunate. But I think I traded one time, two times, three times here. And each was for a loss. So although it's like a big loss, 450, it was actually like three smaller loss inside them. So the first trade was for this break here. You can see it started adding when this was holding vwop, and it broke there, and it failed. So I went ahead and sized down and then stopped out the rest. So that was a loss there. And then thank you, Lisa Tree. And then so what happened was there was another, if you extend this flag, and now you see another flag forming, and then I thought this was another attempt to break this flag line with my stop here. So I went ahead and sized in there, and eventually just got stopped out right here doing that wash. So going in a little bit prematurely, so I paid the cost for that. And then let's see what else. So and then I tried again for this after hour flag break of this trend line. Didn't go anywhere, so I just stopped out when it was just consolidating. So lesson learned is try not to fight the trend. Try not to go in early. So multiple times here I went in a little bit early, and then when it eventually did break the trend line breakout, it didn't go. So I had to be a little bit more patient and wait for that trend break to confirm that breakout level. But all in all, it's decent. It was pretty much like three different losses, and it made the loss look bigger in one ticker. But lesson learned, try not to fight the stock. If you kind of trade it twice and you fail, it's best to just avoid it so you don't overtrade. But yeah, this today is the ending of my 29-day green streak. So here's my trading journal on trading view. Pull that up. and I imported my trading, and here's the last 30 days of my trading. Pretty much, yeah, today was a small dip, as long as you learn, hopefully this dip won't matter as much in the long run. And there's the red day for today. And then I have 30, my last 29 days there are all green. Pretty much this year I only have 3 red days and all mostly green days. So hopefully, I make these blogs to reflect on my trading, and hopefully I improve to become a efficient trader. You're not gonna always have perfect trades. You'll have instances where you'll have strings of losses, and that's okay. It's just statistics, and it's bound to you're bound to take losses in a row, and it might just be a statistic, like flipping a coin and getting hands in a row. So but yeah, so it's all I have for today. And thank you everyone for tuning in. If you haven't done so, feel free to hit the subscribe button if you enjoy these videos. And I'm planning to make some educational videos. So if you want to learn anything specific, I was thinking of creating a 9EMA, how to use that and how it impacts your trading. And it's pretty much a good, the only indicator I use, 9EMAs and vwop. So that would be a video I would recommend. But yeah, if you have any other recommendations, feel free to add it in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. All right, thank you, bye.